Hello, I'm excited to introduce you to somebody that's truly inspiring. Her journey started in alternate medicine in a very personal way after her sister was diagnosed with ocular melanoma. Spending the last 2 weeks with her sister, who was a pharmacist for 20 years, she learned something shocking. Her sister revealed that there's an effective cancer treatment in other countries that aren't allowed in the US. She even said, "My profession is killing me," pointing out how big pharmaceutical companies influence the FDA to prioritize profit over patients' well being. This eye opening experience led her to question the current healthcare system and explore alternate, more natural treatments for illness. She looked back at her family history and noticed that her grandparents and great grandparents lived healthy lives into their late 60s and 70s, relying on fruits, vegetables, supplements, and natural remedies. This made her wonder, why did we move away from these tried true methods? Determined to make a difference, she became a certified holistic cancer coach. Now she helps people who either worry about getting cancer or already have a diagnosis to navigate their health journey. She focuses on educating her clients about how nutrition, physical activity, stress management, and social connections can all play a big role in beating cancer. Her goal is to turn patients from warriors, who turn patients into warriors, not worriers. Worriers. Wow. Say that 10 times. Please join me in welcoming a passionate advocate for natural health and a true inspiration, Kara Brown.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I'm so excited to be at the Spiritual Growth Forum and speak with you today on topics that can help you to become a warrior and not a worrier. We hear these words, with, chronic illnesses and cancer, and we immediately have instant fear. So it's nice to be able to reach a lot of people and explain to you a few things that are going to make you empowered and make you become that warrior you're going to need to be if you're facing something like this. So I've got a PowerPoint presentation for you to put together. There we go. And let's go ahead and jump right on in. The first slide that I had for you here was basically an introduction for me, but he did such a wonderful job. Thank you so much. So really don't need to go into this too much. So what I try to do, like he said, is I work with anybody who has a fear of getting cancer, or maybe they're already on a diagnosed journey to deal with their cancer. I work with them to help them on their lifestyle modifications, relieving that stress, relieving that fear, and helping them to become a warrior. So people say when they find out they're ill, why me? What do I do now? And I'm scared. And these are all natural reactions to have once you find out you have a chronic illness or cancer. But what I'm going to hopefully try to do for you by the end of my presentation is have you say, hey, cancer, you picked the wrong one. So the topics we're going to go over are going to be, cancer and who has it and why do they get it. I'm getting your diagnosis. I'm changing your mindset from fear to victory, ways to overcome or improve your outcome, and tests that are available to you that you may not already be aware of. So I'm going to start off when this next slide is probably going to be a shocker to you, but who has it? Everyone has cancer. So don't let one word with 6 letters in it automatically put you in a state of complete fear and terror. Because all of us have cancer stem cells running through our bodies. And we all have the capability to form tumors, since we all have these cancer stem cells running through our system. But what we can do is make our bodies an inhospitable host to forming tumors. And this is really easier to accomplish than you think. So why do people get cancer anyway? So contrary to popular belief, cancers are only 5 to 10% genetic. 90 to 95% of cancers are not from your genes. So if you're worried that, I have an aunt, an uncle, a mother, a father, or someone in your family who has cancer, do not let that affect you. It does not necessarily mean that you too will have that cancer. And believe it or not, there's actually ways that you can shut those genes off, even if you did have them. So why do people get cancer if it's not genetic? How do you get it? It's from what you eat and drink. It's environmental toxins. It's lack of physical movement. And what you put on your body is just as important as what you're putting in it, and chronic stress. So when you get this diagnosis, a healthy response to that, of course, is going to be, crying and anger and despair and hopelessness and fear and stress. But facing the truth and entering the depths of one's being can awaken and mobilize your inner resources that will help you along that healing process. So naturally feel what you need to feel. It's a natural reaction to be sad or stressed or upset or even angry, but you need to eventually accept that diagnosis and turn that negative energy around into a positive that will help you to mobilize those inner resources to become that fighter, that warrior that you're going to need to be. What we need to do is flip the script. We need to take a new mindset and get a new result. And one of the ways, reject the prognosis. So after you accept the fact that you do have cancer or chronic illness, and once you can reject the limitations of what the prognosis is offered to you, a strong sense of determination, belief, and hope focuses energy towards your goal of healing. And when you do this, this is where you immediately begin to become that warrior that you need to be. So changing the mindset from fear to victory. So one of the biggest things is stress. And when you reduce stress, it's crucial for improving your cancer outcome. High levels of stress negatively impact both your physical health and the effectiveness of your cancer treatments. Managing stress through techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, yoga, exercise, therapy can bolster your immune system, which is desperately what you need to get into that fight and become a warrior. We need a good functioning immune system, and it improves your ability to fight your cancer. So lowering stress levels contributes to better sleep, increased energy, overall improved quality of life, which naturally, if you're going through some chronic illness or cancer, you're going to want to make sure you have the best quality of life. So minimizing your stress is going to bring that for you. You can make patients more resilient and better equipped to handle the rigors of their cancer treatment by reducing their stress. Stress reduction enhances mental clarity. And this is a huge one that I like to expand upon a little bit, because you're going to meet physicians and oncologists and all these different people that are going to come at you with so much information. You need to have as best of mental clarity that you can possibly have so that you can make the appropriate decisions on your treatment and your care. It makes you more informed, and it's going to maintain the adherence to your complex treatment regimen. So the holistic approach of integrating physical, emotional, mental well-being significantly contributes to better health outcomes and more hopeful, empowered journey through your cancer treatment. This is one of my favorites that I tell everybody that I speak with is, what is your why? What is your reason that you want to become a fighter and a warrior? Is it because you want to get married, or you want to, maybe get your master's degree, or you want to play with your grandchildren or travel places that you've never been? I would love to go to Italy. Always, every day, remember your why. This gives you that fighting spirit. There will be days that are going to be so incredibly hard, and you're going to ask yourself, why am I doing this? And you always need to look at your why. I mean, for example, sometimes we have a job we hate, but we get in the car and we're driving to it, and we say to ourselves, why? Why am I going to this job? And you immediately tell yourself, well, I have bills to pay. I want to take my kids on a trip. You immediately tell yourself why. Sit down and think, I'm getting ready to get into a big fight. I have to become a warrior. But why? Why am I doing that? Every day, Always remember what your why is, and that will give you strength and empower you. Ways to improve your outcome, definitely education. When you educate yourself on both conventional and holistic cancer treatments, those options, it's a vital step in making an informed decision and empowered healthcare decisions. So it's now too common for Western practitioners and oncologists to give you the diagnosis, immediately tell you what to do, when to do, and with little explanation. And most want you to just follow their instructions without providing you the right information and for you to make informed decisions about the course of your care. I use an example of my mother-in-law. She was diagnosed with cancer, and they immediately, this is what you have, this is the surgery you need, here's the radiation chemo you're going to have, and you start next week. And she did not feel like she had the time to properly educate herself and was kind of flying blind in it. And that alone is causing unnecessary fear. So I need you all to remember and know this. It takes years for a tumor to form. Therefore, if it takes years for it to form, you can take a few days to become educated and make the right choice for you. Now, there are caveats to this. And that being, for example, I had a client that had a tumor that had gotten enlarged and was impeding her intestinal tract, which would become immediately life-threatening. So that surgery was no option. It was an emergent situation that needed to be addressed. So, but once she did that, she was able to, while recuperating from surgery, take those few days and educate herself on all the options that are available, be it conventional, integrative, or holistic. So everybody knows the conventional treatments that are out there, the surgery, chemo, radiation, and immunotherapy is one of the newer treatments. And they're all evidence-based approaches, and they've been tested and widely used in clinical practices. But understanding these options needs to include benefits, risks, and also the very important side effects. Being educated enables the person to choose the most appropriate and effective treatment plan in consultation with your physicians, your loved ones, and other members of your care team, like a cancer coach. So education and holistic treatments. This is just a small list of various holistic treatments that can be used integratively with those conventional treatments, or they can be used solely alone. Some people choose to not do conventional treatment and want to use all holistic. And again, that's up to the patient. And once you are properly educated and you know what's best for you and what you are able to continue and be successful with the program that's implemented. So there's nutritional therapy, exercise, stress management, ozone therapy, IV vitamin C, soursop tea, amygdalin, which is apricot seeds or vitamin B17, black seed oil. They all can be, like I said, complementary to your overall well-being while you're doing conventional treatments, and they can also be used on their own. Holistic approaches emphasize the importance of mental, emotional, physical health and promotes a more comprehensive care strategy. And because we all know a healthy life is all the things that involved in encompassing a healthy life are the stress management, regular exercise, a healthy diet, quality sleep, active social life, and mental stimulation. So when you become educated on the full spectrum of treatments and possibilities, patients can better tailor their care to meet their individual needs, improve their quality of life, that is a huge one, and potentially enhance their treatment outcomes, fostering a sense of control. So many people, when they're diagnosed, just have this whole think they've lost all control. And you don't have to lose your control. Be educated and have control over what's going on with you. And it actually gives hope in their cancer journey. So another way to improve your outcome is nutrition. And nutrition is one of the easiest ways to do this. But so many people aren't aware of what you can find in your grocery store that can definitely benefit your health. And the first we're going to go over is the foods that have an anti-tumor activity, and that's fiber is a big one. Standard American diet, we only get 3 to 4 grams of fiber a day. And when you are worried about cancer, or especially in an active cancer journey, you need to have as many as 50 grams per day. And they're easy to find. They're in whole grains, fresh fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, legumes, beans, and high fiber. Just so you understand what fiber is going to do for you, it binds and escorts circulating hormones and carcinogenic compounds. It binds them and gets them out of your system. And it helps to stabilize blood sugar. This is another thing most people are not aware of, is that cancer feeds and fuels on sugar. So apples is another fruit that has an anti-tumor activity to it. It has the fiber that we're needing, but the apple a day keeps the doctor away. I remember my grandparents and great-grandparents telling me this. The peel, it's true. The peel has triterpenoids. I always pronounce that wrong. But what those do is inhibit cancer growth in the liver, colon, and breast. Orange, like orange colored fruits and vegetables like carrots, but also vegetables that have yellow, green, red, purples. They all have carotenes in them. And carotenes boost the immune system. And that's the T cells, the natural killer cells. And those killer cells, we want them working in their optimal form. Macrophage cells at antioxidants. And those neutralize free radicals. So free radicals are dangerous compounds that damage your cellular DNA, and we are bombarded with free radicals, tens of thousands of hits on our cell per day. So we want to make sure we have a lot of antioxidants going into our system. And free radicals are directly implicated in the process of cancer in every cell of your body. So we need those antioxidants on board to protect our cellular DNA. Lycopene with tomatoes, beets, watermelon, and red peppers. Lycopene is an antioxidant that's very protective against the following types of cancer: the prostate, breast, mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, colon. And lycopene has even been shown in clinical studies to help reverse prostate cancer. Berries, they contain large amounts of polyphenol ellagic acid. What is that? Ellagic acid is a very potent anti-angiogenesis activity that slows down the production of blood vessels that feed new tumors. So angiogenesis is when a tumor cell starts to form its own blood supply so that it can get its fuel. And what we want to do is get that ellagic acid in there because it's an anti-angiogenesis. It's going to help stop the tumor from forming blood supply. Black raspberries inhibit cancer of the esophagus, mouth, and colon. Blueberries are particularly effective in forcing cancer cells to commit suicide, apoptosis. We want those cancer cells to die. We want them to commit suicide. And blueberries have very important property in doing that. And they're also very effective with colon cancer. So cruciferous plants, these are my favorites too, very big with the anti-tumor activities. So there's a list there of various different cruciferous plants, and they contain anti-cancer properties of enol and sulforaphane. And these compounds support liver enzyme systems and detoxification pathways. We need to detox our bodies and get rid of all of everything that is not good for you in there. Environmental toxins, chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, all of these things. These will help detoxify your system and neutralize dangerous hormones and carcinogens, and they do it very, very quickly. I eat a cruciferous plant at least 3 times a day. Not only do these compounds protect against breast and prostate cancer, they've been known to help reverse these cancers. Green tea and matcha, drink it every day, all day. They are fantastic. They have catechins, which is polyphenol, and EGCG, and those are highly powerful antioxidants and highly stimulate the immune system. They have a lot of antioxidants in it, and again, It has apoptosis. It has cell death stimulators in it. So drinking green tea every day, look at the boost that you're going to get from just drinking that tea. Flax seeds, another phenomenal anti-tumor activity. It's rich in omega-3s, lignans, and fiber. It helps with immune support. It binds up estrogen and improves bowel function. So it's phytochemicals. They improve bowel function and lowering the instances of colon, breast, and prostate cancer. They also lower the aggressiveness of these cancers because they modify the hormones that feed those cancers. I think everybody's heard about this one, garlic, the anti-cancer superfood. It's a natural killer cell activity stimulator. So we really want to get some garlic on board. Now, they recommend 2 to 3 cloves of garlic a day, and I realize some people are going to think, I'm not going to eat that much. They do have that in granulated capsule form where you can get that amount of garlic in your system on a daily basis. It reduces the risk of breast cancer, prostate, and stomach cancers, and it can help slow down their growth once they've been initiated. So once you have the diagnosis of cancer, you do have a tumor form, then you can get this garlic on board and it will actually help to slow down the growth. Clearly, there's tremendous potential power in your kitchen. And that is amazing. It's knowledge is power, and power is what is going to make you that warrior and not a worrier. So we've learned so far that you have a powerful potential to have your health journey through stress management and through your food choices. So welcome to becoming that warrior you need to be. So we can't go over the good foods you need without going over some that you need to stay away from or minimize. So these are some things that we need to avoid in order to prevent or fight cancer. So red meats, and I know there's a lot of you going, oh, don't tell me I can't have red meat. Beef, pork, venison, and lamb have been linked to colorectal cancer. So what I tell people is eat less frequently red meat and smaller portions. And always make sure that it is 100% grass-fed. Processed meats, basically anything that's preserved or it's undergone changes in its shape or flavor, deli meats, hot dogs, hams, bacon, sausage. These are often preserved with nitrates, and nitrates can increase your risk of colorectal and stomach cancer. Again, don't panic. I'm a bacon lover. I'm from the South. So I have found that there is bacon out there that is uncured, no sugar added, no nitrates, and it's on no antibiotics. So it's out there and you can still enjoy the things you want. Life is for living, not existing. Genetically modified, the GMOs or the bioengineered foods, and they introduce novel organisms into our bodies that can cause us harm. And basically your body does not recognize these proteins. So it can't process them properly, and it sets up an environment for disease. And what we're trying to do is make our bodies an inhospitable host to cancer tumor growth. GMOs and bioengineered foods are doing exactly that. It's setting up your environment. And naturally, other things is alcohol, ultra-processed or foods and drinks that are high in sugar, because sugar is going to feed and fuel your cancer. Basic rule of thumb I always go by is if nature didn't make it, do not take it. Ultimately, the best way to prevent its recurrence, or even reverse it, is to make your body an inhospitable environment for the tumor formation. So let's look at the cellular environments. So cancer cells thrive in a low oxygen, acidic, and high sugar environment. Healthy cells thrive in high oxygen, alkalinity, and low sugar. So knowing that cancer thrives in a low oxygen environment, then we need to flood our cells with as much as possible to make that an inhospitable environment. Knowing cancer loves sugar, that means we need to reduce our intake of sugar so we're not feeding it. Another ways you can improve your outcome. Don't panic when you see this slide because it is covered with all kinds of information, which can be inundating, but I'm showing you this for a reason. Environmental toxins, it's not just what you eat that can cause cancer. These are all known carcinogens that are in our household cleaners, body care products, our water, and our chemicals that go into our crops, which get into our fruits and vegetables. So by knowing all of this, I always tell everybody to look at ewg.org. You're going to need to look over there. They have a phenomenal resource for you to be able to look at your current product that you have and see what all is in it that you need to avoid. It will also tell you products that you can use to replace it that are healthier for you. So there's ways you can go about doing this. I took it a little to the extreme. I wanted to get as much out of my house as possible. So I took all my household cleaners at one time and I replaced all of them with healthier, safer options. But I felt bad because I'd spent all that money on this other. So I donated it to a homeless shelter so that they could have those products that they needed. I got a tax write-off and I got my home healthier than it was before. Now, some people, it's easier for you to, when you run out of your shampoo, don't buy that shampoo anymore. Buy the healthier option from now on. When you run out of your laundry detergent, find the healthier option and buy that and don't buy the bad stuff anymore. You can do it one step at a time, and eventually you're going to have your environment free, or as free as you can possibly get it, because there is no 100% elimination of all of these. But you can do a fantastic job even by taking it one at a time. Definitely go to EWG and look at their resources. You can actually put your zip code in there and it will tell you what your local water quality is. It's a fantastic resource and I highly recommend it. Another way to improve your outcome is physical movement. Now, some of us love exercise and others simply hate it. And for those of you that hate it, don't worry. Getting beneficial physical movement can be much easier than you think it is. Simple physical movement can and does provide powerful benefits for everyone, especially trying to prevent or help with a recurrence or actively on a cancer journey. Something as simple as walking 15 minutes a day, or swimming, or aqua aerobics, or rebounding. My personal favorite I like is rebounding. It's low impact. It stimulates the lymphatic system, which drains away our toxins. You have to know your lungs will contract and expand to take oxygen in and then breathe out. Your heart pumps your blood through your body. Our lymphatic system does not have a pump. So what moves that lymph through our body so we can get rid of those toxins is physical movement. So I love that rebounding does that. Reduces stress and anxiety and depression. It improves mood, your sleep, cardiovascular health, balance, and coordination. But the best one I like for my cancer patients or clients would be, it's the safest exercise for people who are currently undergoing a cancer treatment program. It gets oxygen into your system, and we know now that cancer hates that. So what are some benefits of the physical movement? Is it improves the immune system function, which we really want to do. And we definitely want to get that antioxidant activity on its top level. And it promotes DNA repair. So this is a big term right here, mitochondrial biogenesis. And basically that's a process which the cell increase mitochondrial mass and the production of cellular energy, or ATP. This is one reason that physical and movement has been shown to reduce cancer risk and improve survival after diagnosis. Some other benefits of physical movement. Remember, I say this a lot. Cancer hates oxygen. Regular physical movement, it will increase your oxygen levels in your body. It alters sex hormones and their receptors and causes cancer cell death, which is exactly what we want. There's a protein that's secreted in your muscle tissues during physical movement called cysteine. And these proteins will slow down tumor growth and cause cancer cell death. So another thing I love to educate people on is test, do not guess. It will always relieve stress and fear. So far we've been learning about stress management and nutrition and physical movement and all of these things, and they're not that hard to implement. So when you get that, reject that prognosis, and you start looking at these simple lifestyle modifications that you can implement, you find yourself now becoming that warrior and not a worrier. But these tests are also going to be a big tool in your arsenal. And these are going to provide you with personalized testing that will tell you what your body is going to respond to and not respond to, or provide you with information that does not radiate your body, but will give you good baselines of what you may have going on. So the first one that I like to go over is thermography. It's non-invasive. It detects heat patterns in your blood flow. And it's a really good tool for early cancer detection. It reveals abnormal temperature variations and may indicate the presence of tumors. Cancerous cells often exhibit an increased blood supply, so it'll show up really good on thermography. It's not a standalone diagnostic method, and its effectiveness and accuracy can vary, so I do recommend using it in conjunction with other diagnostic procedures. There's also ultrasounds. I know some people prefer to do ultrasounds over mammograms. That's also a very good alternative for you to try. I will be telling you this. I should be the poster child for RGCC, but I am not a representative with RGCC. But this test alone, I wish I had known about this when my sister was going through her journey. I wish she knew about this. There are amazing tests that RGCC can do that will personalize your cancer testing. It's cutting edge. The liquid biopsies and C testing, comprehensive genetic expression profiles. This is what's probably going to resonate with the most of you, is it tests for 50 plus chemotherapeutic agents and 50 plus natural substances. It's customization of treatment plans tailored to you. Personalized information to make a personalized care decision. So basically, it's a lab test that they do, and then they will take your blood and test it against 50 or more chemotherapeutic agents and 50 or more natural substances, and it will tell you specifically what your body will respond to. And that is, to me, an unbelievable tool to have in your arsenal, to know exactly what your body needs and not a statistical, average or plan. A lot of Western medicine oncologists, if you have this type of cancer, here's the protocol. And maybe your body doesn't fall into that protocol. But that's what they're going to stick with because, say there's 100 people and 75% responded to a certain treatment protocol. And so that's the protocol that they're going to use. The most successes with those 25 people, those 75 people out of 100. But what about the other 25 out there that didn't fall into that range? So statistical treatment plans and statistical lab results, I really always have a really hard time with that because what about the 25 outside of that 100, outside of the 75 that didn't fall into that? With the various testing that RGCC has, they can actually help you pinpoint exactly what you need for your specific individual needs. And so therefore, I highly recommend going to their website and learn more about their invaluable tests. They have multiple different tests. It's myrgcc.com. And you can also use this link, the myrgcc.com/ebook. If you go to those, you can read much more on this amazing, invaluable test that they have, and you will be able to see if this is something that you would be interested in doing. I cannot recommend them enough. I wished that this was more widely known than it is, and I am proud to be somebody that can make this company and their testing so well known and make the difference in everyone's life who is worried about cancer or who is in a journey right now with their cancer. Nutrition genome testing. So we've been talking an awful lot during my session about how the lifestyle modifications can and do make a huge difference in your chronic illness, or especially if you're dealing with cancer. So nutrition genome is a really awesome test too, because it is going to tell you personally what your body needs. So it's an at-home test. It shows food sensitivities, and it's based off of your DNA. It shows your genetic strengths and weaknesses. It will help you optimize your food and nutrition selections and environment to improve your unique gene expression. So the analysis on this includes 170 targeted, highly personalized DNA health reports. It's over 80-page report, and it's designed to bring your whole body into balance through strategic modifications to your diet, nutrition, your environment. This will actually tell you about your mycotoxins, glyphosates. It'll tell you all about everything that you could be exposed to that could cause you to have a chronic illness, and your lifestyle. What you eat, what you put on your body, what toxins you're exposed to, and your physical movement can and does have major impact on your health. So knowing what is best for your body is going to drastically assist you in making those better option choices to regain your optimal health and prevent cancer or help you fight it. And this is one test that you can take that will show you specifically what you need for your body. It even comes at the end of it with a detailed grocery shopping list of all the foods that you should be eating to better your health. It is an invaluable test as well. There's other tests that you can consider as well. Here's a list of those. The main one I really like to focus on is the blood sugar levels, because sugar feeds cancer. So you can actually get on Amazon and get the blood testing like diabetics use and test your blood. You can take your blood sugar 30 minutes before you eat, and then an hour after you eat, check your blood sugar, and it will tell you how your body responds to that specific food. So if your blood sugar goes way high after you eat a certain food, then maybe your body is not processing it like it should. And that's a food that you want to minimize or avoid. So that is a really like $35 test that you can do all on your own to find out how your body responds to certain foods. Natural killer cell activity. We want to know that those natural killer cells are in peak performance. Vitamin D levels have a major impact on chronic illnesses and cancer. So we want to make sure that those levels are optimal. And homocysteine levels, that measures your cellular inflammation. We want to make sure that cellular inflammation is as low or gone as possible. So here is where, for all of you wonderful participants here at the forum, I wanted to make sure that since you have heard a lot of information here, and I'm sure that a lot of that is probably maybe a little overwhelming, but promising. Remember, we're turning into warriors, not worriers. So I wanted to give all of you here the chance to get a free 30-minute session with me where I can discuss your current health, maybe some concerns you possibly have, and maybe provide you with some solutions or ways to help you get started in gaining your more optimal health. So I don't only work with cancer patients. I work with anyone who is wanting to make sure that they have optimal health, that if they have a chronic illness, that they're working to minimize that. But especially if you are worried about cancer, or you're already in a cancer journey. These are the things that I really look forward to working and helping people with, because I've seen firsthand what that can do, not only to the patient, but to the loved ones. As he said, my sister was a pharmacist for 25 years and told me 2 days before she passed away that she, realized that there was treatments in other countries and they weren't afforded to her. There was testing out there that wasn't afforded to her. She was never talked to about nutrition. which was a shock for me. So I have made it my mission and my passion to help people to not be a worrier, turn yourself into a warrior, get educated, get somebody such as myself to work with your care team to help you be as successful as possible and help you become that warrior you need to be. So there is a QR code there that you can scan that will get you straight to my calendar and get you over to schedule your free 30-minute session. Or you can use the link that is scrolling at the bottom right now and get scheduled with me. I would love that. So let's do a quick review. Who is cancer and why do we get it? Everyone has circulating tumor cells. You have to make sure your nutrition and your environment are as best as they can to ensure that their tumor formation does not occur. We want to make our body inhospitable to a cancer formation or tumor formation. Getting that diagnosis, accept the diagnosis as this is the first step to becoming a victor and not a victim, but reject that prognosis. Turn into that warrior. It's time to start get educated, make better choices, and give and not give in to what your physicians tell you. You can win. Now, I'm not telling you not to listen to your physician. What I'm telling you is to make sure that you are educated, you know your options, and that they understand, your physicians understand what it is that you are prepared to do and want to do and what you might not want to do. You need to have your healthcare team on your side. Changing your mindset from fear to victor. You've got to manage that stress because it affects your physical health in so many negative ways. Learn various ways to manage your stress. And reducing that can improve your immune system, which we desperately need to do, and helps your sleep and your mood. Stress, get it full education. We want to manage that stress. And a lot of that comes from simply the fear of not knowing what is going on or how you can help yourself, or actually even dealing with, loved ones who may differ from your choice of therapy. Maybe they want you to do a certain way of treatment and you don't want to. So there's stress that's involved with all of that. We want to minimize that. So get fully educated for all of your options. And knowledge is power. Include your loved ones and family members and make sure that you're all educated and that they understand what's going on and why your choices are what you want to do. Don't be rushed into a treatment plan that you're not sure of. When you know what you're getting ready to go through, you will become that warrior and not a worrier. And the other thing that I desperately love, and I tell everybody, always, every day, remember your why. Ways to improve your outcome, that nutrition, the fruits and vegetables that, provide you so much needed nutrients and assist you with optimal health and are easy to find and prepare, making sure they're non-GMO and all organic. You want to look for the number 9 on the little sticker on your fruits and vegetables. Make sure it starts with a 9. Those are organic. Make sure your meats and dairy products are 100% grass-fed, no antibiotics added, and no nitrates. Any processed or ultra-processed foods you want to avoid or drastically minimize. Cancer uses that cancer for fuel, so greatly limit it or completely remove it from your meals. Environmental toxins, your home, your cleaning products, your body care products, these all have toxins in them that can cause illness and cancer. So I highly encourage you to go to EWG.com and enter your zip code to find out your water quality and also find products that are healthy for you and will not expose you to toxins. Physical movement, we got to get that oxygen into your body. Cancer hates it. We got to get that oxygen in. It helps move lymph through our body for waste removal, which is very, very important. And you get better sleep. Test, don't guess, will always relieve stress and fear. So there's a number of those personalized tests that I just went over that are very beneficial to knowing what works best for you and your health. So that nutrition genome, a magnificent test. Thermography is a great option. RGCC, everybody should be taking RGCC testing. It is that amazing of a test. I highly encourage it. and the various other tests that are there that are labs that can be done through your physician. I highly, again, encourage you to look at these tests and consider taking them. So now that we've gone through all of the stress management and acceptance and turning our mindset over from a worrier to a warrior, now guess what? Welcome to being a warrior. I am so excited. I want to thank all of you so much for listening to me today. And I think now what I'm going to do is see if I'll go over at the chats and see if there is any information or questions that I can answer for you. If I can get my computer to work with me here. Let's see. I know there says some private on here. There we go. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so many people did not know the amount of fiber that you should have every day. The standard American diet is literally 3 to 4 grams of fiber, and we desperately need 50 grams or more a day. One of the best things I like to start my day with is a flaxseed muffin. It has the flaxseed that has the fiber in it. I put blueberries in it so I can get my cancer, those apoptosis, have those cancer cells commit suicide in there, get all that fiber in there. It's a twofer. I'm getting fiber and I'm getting the apoptosis, cancer suicide cells in my body. So fiber is a big issue that people need to look at in their diet. Fast food, processed foods, all of these things that are GMO, bioengineered, can wreak such havoc on our bodies. And I found when I look back at my childhood and growing up, and my grandparents, my great-grandparents, they did not have all of these genetically modified foods. They don't have all of these things. So when I looked back, one of my thesis papers for my degree in alternative medicine, as I looked into, was why are the instances of 30, 40, 50-year-olds percentages of cancer going up? And when I went down the rabbit hole, I learned that our grandparents and great-grandparents, they were the generation that ate fresh produce. They had plenty of fiber. They had a lot of physical movement. It was lifestyle that made the difference for them. So knowing that, I started saying, if I go back to the ways of my grandparents and great-grandparents, I could turn this around. I can start making my life healthier and happier, and I certainly have. So I really, really do encourage. And well, another thing, I love talking about this too. Get stainless steel or cast iron cookware. Those are the only ones that you should cook with. All the others are going to have, PFAs and toxins inside them that leach into your food. And then you actually get a little iron from your cast iron. So that's what my grandparents did, and it worked. So looking at, I think that was there. Yep, that was a lot of people had questions about their fiber intake. So I'm glad everybody got educated on that. So I wanted to just thank you again for coming to the Spiritual Growth Forum and listening to my session. And I hope that now that you have been educated, and now you know that there are ways that you can take one word that has 6 letters and change it from being something that you worry about into something that you can be a warrior about, and you can face this and you can beat it.